Hello there, everyone. This is SoulSuper17 here. And let me first, like usual, I do not own this picture. I do not own Naruto. And none of the characters, none of the names, none of the merchandise, nothing. Alright. Like I said, I do not own this picture. And I do not. Yeah, okay. And this is just a non paid video. Alright, sorry. Sorry. Just had to do a couple of things. And it was taking longer than I thought. Um, I have no power right now. So, yeah, this video is gonna be probably uploaded like later on, hopefully. So yeah, I already know where I'm at. So let's just get into it, and I may get to the part where Tsunade comes into the village. Who knows? All right, so let's just get into this. This is What If Naruto Became a Demon, Part 5. All right. Okay. So Naruto is waking up, and basically he thought he was gonna like see like Kiyomi right next to him, and she's not even there. He's like going like, what the? And then he says Jiraiya, and Jiraiya's not even there. He's like, okay, was I ditched? And just when he gets up out of bed, the door opens up. It's Kiyomi. She says, "Morning, sleepyhead," and he goes like, "Hey, sorry for sleeping." She goes, "Nah, I woke up really early." And Naruto just sees a bag and goes, "So what's in the bag?" Pardon me. And Kiyomi just says, "Breakfast. We don't have a stove in here, so I got some food." And then he looks at her and then he says, "Where's Jiraiya?" And Kiyomi just says, "I don't really know." Yes, you know, Jiraiya comes through the window. And basically he's drunk. And he goes like, "So, Jiraiya." And Jiraiya goes like, "Naruto, I didn't think you'd be up this early." And he's like, "Wait, what time is it?" "It's only 6 o'clock in the morning, Jiraiya. Come on, like, of course I'll probably be up by now. So where were you?" He goes like, "Oh, just a midnight stroll." And then Naruto thinks for a minute. So he runs to where his wallet is. He opens it up, and there is no more money in the wallet. And he looks at Kiyomi, and she goes, I had to take some." And then he asks, "How much was that food?" Just like, she just tells him like, just like 200 to 300. He's like, "Okay," but then he listens to Jiraiya. He goes like, That's a none." And Naruto goes like, "Yeah, right. What did you?" He goes, "Okay, I may or may have not went to go get research done." And then Naruto looks at him and goes like, "You can't pay me back all my money later." And Jiraiya goes like, "You and," he goes like, and Naruto goes like, "Me and what power?" He goes like, yeah." I mean, he's just basically a little still drunk, so he's so basically, Jiraiya says, "We're gonna leave soon, anyways." He was like, "How? You're drunk?" He was like, "Oh, today's the last day we gotta stay in this hotel, so I'm gonna take a quick nap. Wake me up at 10." So Naruto and Kiyomi eat breakfast, and Naruto's pissed. He has been staying in his, his demon form, his real form, And Kiyomi asked him, why does he not stay in his human form? He was like, well, and then Naruto just simply says, well, this is my real form, and I don't want to forget how it feels to be this way. Also, I'd rather stay in this form than in my freaking human form because, one, this is my true form now, and two, I got a lot more control over my chakra. Well, I got like a lot more control impulse wise. So, She goes, and then Kiyomi looks at him with a weird look on her face. He goes like, no, not that type of impulse. And she goes like, oh, you mean the child pull pranks on people? I was like, yes. She's like, okay. And he's like, and then Naruto's just shaking his head and thinking to himself, I gotta phrase my words carefully around her. Wait, I gotta phrase my words carefully around all the girls. And then he thinks, wait, I wonder how Ino, Tenten, and Sasuke's doing. So we're just gonna head back to the Hidden Leaf Village just real quick. And basically, though, Ino and Tenten and Sasuke's sister Sasuke are just training. They woke up early, around like 5 something in the morning, just to meet at the training ground and train. And basically, they all got this weird feeling Naruto was talking about them. So, and then like making a plan to like embarrass Naruto in front of some people. Also, Ino's asking how her brother is doing. And Sasuke just tells Ino saying, oh, he is pissed. And she has Ino and Tenten ask why. He goes like, because Naruto catch my brother Chidori with his bare hand and then proceeded to punch my brother in the stomach, knocking him out, facing my older brother Itachi. And they just start laughing. Along with Sasori, she does laugh too about it, saying, it's just like, of course he's gonna catch a Chidori. He's way stronger than everyone else in the village now. And attendant for their laughter says, yeah, you're right. Also, Sakura heard what happened to Sasuke. She was gonna come over and ask Sasori what happened, and she heard, and she's thinking, that Naruto, I'm gonna punch him in the face when he comes back. And she walks away. Now, over to Naruto, Jiraiya, and Kiyomi. Naruto gets this weird feeling. He stopped eating, and Kiyomi asks, what's wrong? He says, I feel like I'm gonna freaking punch Sakura in the stomach when we get back. And she asks why. He goes, I have no idea, but I'm not taking no more of her crap. And she says, good for you. And he says, with a thumbs up, and I was like, yeah. So, after a couple of hours, Naruto trained. Kiyomi just read some books. And Naruto looks over at the books and he goes like, wait, make out paradise? She goes, yeah, so? He goes like, oh god, why, Kiyomi? She goes, well, when you got nothing to do, anything you can read or think or do seems a whole lot more fun, including this type of stuff. And he was like, okay, whatever happens in that book, we're not doing in real life. You know what they're talking about in real life? She goes like, I know. Jeez. And he just starts chuckling. And next thing you know, Naruto looks at the clock. It's 10:05. He goes like, oh crap, we forgot to wake up Jiraiya. So basically, Naruto walks over to Jiraiya and Kiyomi asks, what are you gonna do? He just like, oh, nothing. He just does some hand signs and then he goes, lightning style. Lightning shock. And he shocks Jiraiya. And he just bazzed out and screaming. And so Jiraiya, still like twitching, saying, why? He was like, well, I didn't know how much I'm gonna pass out, how far you were in sleeping. like you were like one of those people that don't like wake up that easily. So I figured a shocking effect will work on you. And then Jiraiya goes like, "You're lucky you're powerful than me." And he goes like, "What time is it? 10:05." He's like, "Okay, let's go." So Jiraiya is proceeding to go to his where he has his like stuff, and it's already packed. And Kiyumi says we already packed everyone, your stuff too, and ours. So let's go. He's like, "Okay." So yeah. So after they leave the hotel, they go over to where they'll meet. Well, Tsunade. Also, since Orochimaru never got his arm sealed away, and the third Hokage is technically alive still in this, what if? So we won't have like that epic fight scene with, like with all three sages. So what's gonna happen is we're gonna have the Sound Ninja 4. Reasons why I want to. And two, I want to technically have someone get captured and allow of freaking ease. I just don't know her name, so but it's gonna be the redhead girl, the one that can make, orange hair girl. Actually, I think I don't know, but basically it's the one that can make that uses puppets and plays a flute. I'll look up her name. I swear, I just need internet. Alright. Okay. But yeah. I'm gonna have her get captured of the Sound Ninja 4. And I think I said there was gonna be another person in the harem. If not, then I forget. I haven't not worked on the series that long, but yeah, there's supposed to be another person in the harem, and I think this was gonna be she was gonna be the final one I wanted. But I don't know. I'm thinking about putting her in just because of one reason. Interesting character. Hate that she died. So yeah. Alright, okay, so that night when they arrived into the town, Jiraiya says, "How about we get something to eat?" And Naruto is still in the demon form, in his true form. And he's like, "Yeah, sure." So when they walk into like the restaurant that they would, Naruto just gets like some water, a salad, and some like type of beef. Man, let's just say like ribs or something. Yeah. So, and rice. So you cut up ribs with rice. So yeah. Kiyomi, she wasn't even hungry, so she didn't get nothing. Jiraiya, and he just got like rice, fish. Yeah. He just got some rice and some fish. That's it. So while they're eating, they're talking about how they're gonna find Tsunade in this town. They're gonna have to do some like like just do something. Also, he has wait, Dora, how are we gonna pay for this food? He's like, "Oh yeah." He pulls out his wallet and he goes, "Here's your money back." He goes like, "This is enough to pay for the dinner for me and you." He's like, "Yep," and he's like, "We're not gonna leave a tip." Then he pulls out like another like bill. He's like, I hate you. He was like, "I'll pay you back when I have a next job open. You can do it." He goes like, "How much money do you usually get?" He goes like, about 20,000 yen. He's like, and him and Kiyumi look at each other. He goes like, "Man, that's a lot." And he goes, well, that's my lowest price. I usually get more than that. He's like, really? How much? 20 mil. He's like, even for making books? He goes, yeah, that's not at all. And he's like, man, Jiraiya, how come you're not, rich? He's like, well, books, ninja, equipment, food, research. There's a lot. And Kiyomi and Naruto say exactly at the same time, saying, yeah, that's true. And after that, somebody walks in complaining about how she lost in a gamble. And now her debt it's bigger. It's just like she doesn't know how she can ever win. And then she like walking past the table and she sees Jiraiya. And she looks and she was talking to her assistant, Akiko. Yeah, if that's not her name, um I'll look that up too. Alright. Actually, no. Okay, I'm gonna go. Let me go. Give me just a couple minutes. It's gonna take a while, but I'll be back.
Okay, yeah, I messed up on the name. I wasn't too sure. It was Shizunze. Hey, nah, not Shizunze. Shizune. And the girl in the Sound Ninja 4 is Toya. Uh, I'm gonna just leave it as that for now, but I'll fix in the next episode. Alright. Okay. That name. If I need to. Alright. So, Tsunade sees Jiraiya, and, basically he says hello to Tsunade. Tsunade says hello, and basically she then looks over and seeing two, well, one looks like a freaking 12-year-old, and the other one is like a 16-year-old. So, she's wondering, who are they? And so, she asks, so who's the kid and who's the teenager? And Jiraiya just says, oh, I just met these two and they said they helped me out, so I wanted to treat them to a meal. And Naruto and Kiyomi are saying, yeah, right, to themselves. And so now you're like, oh, I didn't know you would treat kids. And Jiraiya starts laughing. She sits down and she orders her food, and they start eating. And she asks, so why are you in town, Jiraiya? And Jiraiya says, I'm here looking for you. And she goes, why? He goes, to become the hidden leaf villages, I cannot speak right now. The hidden leaf village fifth Hokage. And she just starts laughing. She says she'll never become the Hokage of that village. Everyone who became a Hokage died there. And what about the third Hokage? Our master, he was like, oh, he's still alive, but he wants to retire, so he needs somebody to take over. And there's another person that could, besides me, but he's way too young. And she asks, who? Naruto Uzumaki, he says, which shocks her. She goes, what? How? I mean, I know he has the nine. Well, she bends her head, whispers a little low, says the nine tails, but he's that strong already. He goes, well, a lot happened since you haven't been there. She goes, really? He goes, yes. I mean, how about this? I'll tell you what happened if you can beat this youngster over here, as he points to Naruto. And she just starts laughing and saying, Jiraiya, he ain't. I mean, he may, he has his headband around his arm, not his forehead. A ninja, but come on. As Naruto just says, afraid you'll lose, Granny. And she was like, what? And he goes, you heard me. Afraid you'll lose. Granny. He has this devilish smile on his face, and she just is ticked off, and she says, "Oh, I'm gonna love beating you up. You meet outside now." She gets up, and he just says, "Kiyomi, don't interfere," and she just nods her head and saying, "Well, it is night out. Hope you'll beat her easily." He was like, "I know." And Shizune is just looking at Jiraiya and goes, "What do you mean?" He goes like, and Jiraiya just tells him, just tells her, he goes like, "Just watch and see. That boy's full of surprises." And so, when Jiraiya, when they get outside, a lot of people are seeing, including the manager of the store. He's interested to see who will win this fight. And so, when they get outside, Tsunade says to this, oh, she doesn't know who he is. She asks, "What's your name?" And he goes like, I won't tell you. She says, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, I won't. Unless you beat me, that is." She goes like, "I'll beat you." And then Naruto says, "What do I get in return?" He goes, "What do you want?" He goes, "You come to the Hidden Leaf Village and become the 5th Hokage." And she goes, "Why? You part of the village?" And he just puts out the headband saying, "Yep, I am. Me and my girlfriend were just passing through, and we met Jiraiya, who was in a tight spot. So we helped him out." And Tsunade just laughs. So he's saying, "You needed help from 2 youngsters." And then Tsunade was like, "Wait, girlfriend?" He goes, "She's older than she looks." And she goes like, and she just smiles and goes, "Really?" And like, "Yeah, she does exactly the same thing you do, Granny." And she was like, "What?" And he goes like, "Well, I can see what you really like." And then she gets a little bit pissed off. Naruto just sees, what she really looks like, but he doesn't really care. And the Sound Ninja 4 are watching. Naruto can feel somebody's presence, like eyes watching. And he's wondering what he should do about them. So Naruto just tells her, "Alright, you got 3 punches. Three punches that will be free." And so now he goes, "What?" He goes, "Come at me full strength." And Yomi's just laughing. And Jiraiya goes like, thinking to himself, "Is he crazy?" And Shinzune is just saying to herself, "He's dead." As like Tsunade is a little bit shocked, but she was like, "All right." So she asks, "Are you gonna dodge?" He goes, "Nope. I'll take them all." She goes, "Oh, you're gonna be dead, kid." As she blitzes him full speed, and she's not even drunk, so she punches Naruto in the face, and then she punches him in the stomach real quick, and then she basically then uppercuts him, throwing him into the air, basically, and then he gets a good view of the whole entire, like not the whole entire, like city or village, like town. But you get a good portion of where he can find those people that are watching him. And he sees them. He doesn't know who they are, but something feels weird about them, he thinks. So, but he says, "I don't have time for that now." As then, as you know, he then does the hand signs for the Shadow Clone Jutsu. The multi-Shadow Clone, And then, starts, one of them starts, well, he created 2. Well, no, wait. He created 3. Though one is creating a Rasengan in the Shadow Clone's hand. Another one has a kunai, and it's going down towards Tsunade. Tsunade is thinking, "I got him," and she notices there's 3 more Narutos. Well, the unknown person that she does not know. So she tries to, well, she dodges the kunai attack, and the Shadow Clone lands perfectly fine. Next you know, she hears something. She looks up again, and she sees a spear, like an orb, in the kid's hand, and he says, "Rasengan!" And he just hits the ground, causing an explosion. And the other clone, he has Naruto's legs, or should I say, arm, really, and he just chucks him towards Tsunade. Him like putting chakra into his fist, because he can already tell what Tsunade did to her fist. But she always has that monstrous strength because she's always having chakra, and he always has enhanced chakra. She's just naturally strong. I'm just saying it's enhanced chakra. She used doing it. So next you know, she dodges that, and in mid-air, she gets punched in the face by Naruto. Sent her flying a little bit. He lands perfectly fine. Shadow Clones disappear. And he goes like, "What's wrong, Granny? Didn't see that coming?" And she's just getting a little bit ticked off. Especially that she got punched. And then, so Naruto just have a little grin on his face. And he goes, "Sorry, but I'm gonna have to end this real quick." As all of a sudden, he has his hand like in the like he's gonna make a Rasengan, but then he just moves it up, and the shadows around her and even underneath her feet, because I'm saying like from the lanterns and it's nighttime, there's like a lot of shadows, so he's controlling them to go on her, and and then it's like going. She doesn't know what's happening. She doesn't know, and he just says, "Devil jutsu." Well, not devil. I mean demon jutsu. Shadow coffin. And he just made that up right down there. And so it like covers her whole entire face, and he's thinking, I don't really want to kill her. So he just pulls on his hand a little bit, and the face is not covered by any more shadows, and she's brutally gasping for air, and he's like, "Do you concede?" And she's just saying, "Yes." And then he just lets go. And all the shadows will just disappear. And she doesn't know what happened. Shizune doesn't know what happened. Jiraiya does, so does Kyume. But not that Sound Ninja 4. So they're making mental notes. Tsunade is just surprised, and she goes, "Demon style?" No, not demon. Demon jutsu. I was like, yeah. Surprise. As Naruto's walking over to her, because she was a little bit distance away, not that far, as he asks Kiyome to throw his jacket over, which he hasn't put on in a while. As the clothing on him starts to get a little bit bigger, his hair is starting to get a little bit shorter, and his ears and the eyes are turned from red to blue, and the ears are getting back to normal, and the yellow hair, even the headband goes on, and he was like, "So, looks like I won, Granny Tsunade." And he's like, wondering, huh? He goes, she asked, "Was that a transformation?" He goes, "Nope. The name's Naruto Uzumaki. Believe it." And she's just blinking, and he goes like, "Huh?" He goes, "There's a lot to tell you, Granny Tsunade. After all, didn't Minato and Kushina Uzumaki ask you to be the grandmother? Well, another guardian along with Jiraiya?" And she's going like, what? And then she looks at Jiraiya, and he nods his head. And he's like, "You're Naruto." He was like, "Yep." She's like, going, "How?" I was like, "That's a long story, and
well, I can't explain all, but because we got company watching us. She goes, what? And he just looks over to the direction where the sound of floor are, and, well, they're kind of a little scared. They just feel this massive bloodlust and killing intent coming from this, well, they thought it was a teenager, but really was a kid. Just looking, not even at them, just like looking this like sideways glance over where they are, and it's just like so much that they're like shaking. And then he just stops doing it, and so he goes, "So let's catch up." As he walks over, and he says, "But first, I gotta change my clothing." It's a good thing I brought some clothes that fit this form. As he says, "Yep, here." As she gives him his bag, and he goes, "Thanks." Kisses on the cheek, and she just giggles. And yeah. So when he comes out wearing his normal clothing, jacket, pants, shoes, headband on his head, and they say, let's go to a hotel and chat. So they do that. Everyone, is talking. He tells them the whole entire story. He even told that he could have done a lot more. He can even use the flying Raijin on her. But it's kind of like he still needs to learn how to do it. So, she goes, and Jiraiya goes, wait, you know the flying Raijin? Goes, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you that. Yesterday, I met my dad, and he gave me the knowledge of flying Raijin, and also the shadow manipulation. And she goes, wait, that wasn't a jutsu? He goes, nope, just shadow manipulation. Kind of like a demon skill. And she goes, wait. Demon skill? I mean, I know the Nine-Tailed Fox is a demon. Well, a fox that we call a demon because it's so big and all, but Kiyomi says, well, I am a chakra, and technically I am a demon, so technically Naruto is a demon. Like me. And he goes, yeah, I just have a human form. And this is it. And it's gonna age, too. But it'll stop probably at 16, right? She just nods her head and goes, yeah, so I got some abilities from it too. And then he just holds out his hand, fire comes out of it, and then he even just puts like illusions around the area that they're at. And transformation easily without using chakra. And then they're all saying like Jiraiya is just laughing because he says, you really are freaking powerful. Why aren't you Hokage? And Tsunade and Shizune is shocked. Like, so shocked that they got no words to say. And then he says, oh, that's not all. As then he, suddenly they feel like there's, something on them. And then they see, some lighting, like, when he moves his fingers, they see, silver lines in midair. And he was like, that's something I can use. It's like, like the puppets people can do, but it's really just string or thread. You could say it can cover almost anything. If I put any chakra into it, though, it can really do a lot of damage. But I can use this mostly for surveillance. Well, getting the area secured, and if anyone punctures or the defense or breaks through, I can know where they're coming at, which direction, and all that. And then he pulls out his arm, pulls out the sword, and basically just explain what it does. And he figured out recently if anyone has a sword that has a unique skill to it, his sword would copy it, which is kind of cool, he thinks. And then the shadow manipulation. but he thinks he can also do something else with it. He can probably pass through shadows, like shadow walk through them, but he doesn't know for sure. That's only how he can sway by shadow walk, and which Tsunade is pretty impressed by it. Um, but you know. So after they all chat and everything else, they all fall asleep, but not Tsunade. She gets a letter from the Sun Ninja 4 to meet up with her, and she did do the whole entire poison thing, I think. They had to slow down Jiraiya and everything else. And Naruto and Kiyomi. But she probably thinks the Naito Fox herself, which she was surprised to be it was actually a female, would be immune to it, so she didn't give her any of that poison or slow down poison or whatever. She gave it to Naruto because she doesn't know what will work on him, and she doesn't care. She just wanted to try. But Naruto's not affected by it, and he didn't even drink it. So he was even up when she got the letter. So after that, that night when she falls asleep. That morning, though, she wakes up earlier than everyone else, which she thinks Naruto is awake, and she leaves. So he waits a couple of minutes. He wakes up Kiyomi and then Jiraiya and Shizune, and she tells them what's happening. And they said, "Why you didn't stop her?" He was like, "Because I want to see who they are, who left given the letter, who was watching mine and her fight." As saying, "Okay." And Kiyomi says, "5 more minutes, please." And he goes, "No, go now." It's fine. And she says, "Wait, I didn't get changed." He goes, "This is why I got changed last night." So he just, gets out of the way along with Jiraiya. Suzune gets dressed along with Kiyomi. And then after a couple of minutes of that happens, they leave. So right around 20 minutes later, the Sun Ninja 4 approached Tsunade and asked her to come with them to Lord Orochimaru. And then she asked why couldn't Orochimaru come together herself. They say because he's preoccupied trying to figure out what was that massive energy that came from the woods that scared him off along with us. But we found out who it was. As then Naruto goes, "Really? You just found out who it was?" As they look right behind them, all of the Sound Ninja 4, along with, everyone shot, along with Tsunade. And basically Naruto is just looking at all of them. Then he looks at the girl, the Sound Ninja 4, he goes I don't like hitting girls. And then Tsunade says, "Wait, then what about me?" He goes "Oh, you're different. You're Sani. You're like one of the 3 Sani. So there's no excuse for you." And she was ruthless, and he goes "Yeah, yeah, I know I am, Granny. I get it from you." She was "No, you don't." And he just starts laughing. He goes "Yeah, I know." And basically he just laughing at it. While the 4 of them of the Sound Ninja 4 don't even know what's going on. And Tsunade says, "How did you?" I was "Oh, you really think I was gonna sleep? I stayed up almost all night." And then, I heard about the letter opening up and you reading it and crumbling it and getting rid of it, all that. So, I figured, why not get dressed and get ready for a fight? Which I am. And then Naruto pulls out the sword out of his freaking arm. And then he points it at the girl and he says, "I'm not gonna hurt you, so I'm gonna give you a little choice. Leave along with your friends, or I'll kill all of you." As he has a smile on his face. Which kind of terrifies everyone there. Naruto's just saying, I'm a little bit grumpy, so I need something to blow off some steam.
as the big guy. I'm not even gonna remember his name because I know he fights Choji. So he says, "Get out of get out of the way, you puny weakling. We're here to talk to Tsunade, not you." And then Naruto says, "You saw what I did to her, right? Just imagine me doing that to you, but not holding back." As then he does back away a little bit, but then activates his curse mark, and then Naruto goes like, "Wait, oh yeah, you guys said Orochimaru. That snake. On second thought, I'm just gonna kill all of you." Then a whole amount of bloodless and killing attempt comes off of him, and basically everyone who's in the vicinity of him can't even breathe right. So he's walking over to them slowly with the sword out, and they just get enough courage to run. Not the girl. So she's having trouble breathing, even moving. They're not even saving her. They're just getting out of there. As he points his sword right to her, and then she falls to her knees. But then he puts his sword right underneath her chin, and then he asks, "So, some friends, right?" And then she's just shaking. Then she hears something screaming of her teammates, or should I say, just her acquaintances that are in the distance. And she goes, "How?" He goes, "I made some slash marks that would appear after a certain distance. So, I mean, they're not dead. Just gonna leave a little scar on them." She goes, "What are you gonna do to me?" He goes "Oh, just some interrogation. When we get back to the Hidden Leaf Village." She makes a gulp sound. And then Naruto notices the curse mark on her. And then he asks her, "Tell me everything you know about this curse mark right now." And then she tells him everything about how basically Orochimaru could use them as a new host anytime they need to, along with he even put some of his cells inside the curse mark, so that way he could do that. And then Naruto just says, "I think I could get rid of it." And Kiyomi and Sin- uh, Jiraiya and Suzune have been watching it. What Naruto did, which Jiraiya and Suzune saying "Oh my God, I'm glad he's not killing anyone." That's from the Hidden Leaf Village or any of the civilians. But this girl, the Son of Jafor, asks, "What do you mean?" He was "Just trust me." And then he just puts his hand on her, where the curse mark is. And then all of a sudden, she just starts feeling a massive amount of pain on that area. She doesn't know what's happening. And he just saying to her, "Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you. Brace yourself, because I'm going to burn this curse mark off." As all, she's screaming out in pain, telling him to stop, stop. And Tsunade doesn't know knows what's happening, but she can't believe what he's doing. And then right when he releases his hand off her shoulder, where the curse mark was, he says, "And it's gone." And she's breathing heavily, just going "That was the worst pain ever." And he was "Yeah, you're gonna be sore for a couple of days. I wouldn't do anything with that shoulder." As he basically just says, "Hey, Jiraiya, got any rope on you?" And she goes, "Huh?" He was "Well, I told you I was gonna basically capture you and bring you over to the Leaf Village and get some information." And she goes, I thought you were just gonna really kill me." I was "No, I'll never kill a girl or a woman. It's not my style." And then she just starts laughing. And then he just starts blinking. He goes with a dumb look on his face. He goes did I say something funny?" She goes, "No." And then he asks, "So, What's your name? Alright, I'm actually just gonna make sure I got the name right, so give me a minute. Alright, it was Toya. Toya. Yo, you, whatever. I'm not gonna say the name, I already know it, so. Toya. Yep. It was, I was like, well, nice name. She just goes like, nothing else. He goes like, I don't know you that well to say anything else. So it's a nice name, and she goes, I have a blank face. He goes like, and then she goes, true. As so then he looks over at Tsunade, and he goes like, remember, a deal's a deal, Tsunade. She goes like, yeah, I'll come over and be the Hokage. And she says a little grin, and then she says she has a gift for Naruto, as then she gives him a necklace. And then she says like, the first Hokage, along with someone else, well, the first Hokage wore this. She says, please take care of it for me. He was like, I will. And then like she even said like that she is giving this to the she thinks is the next Hokage, which she believes will be him. Well, a Hokage at least. He turns and says, well, that is my dream. I never go back on my word also. So yeah, believe it. And then she smiles. So let's just say Naruto and them don't take that long to get back to the Hidden Leaf Village. So it takes them about like at least 5 days. And when they arrived, Jiraiya already sent out a message. Somebody said I should do this. And Naruto's still his kid, his 12 or 13-year-old form. As then Tsunade, Tsunade, and Toya see these girls. He explained to them that there was like 3 different girls that liked him, and he was already dating Kiyomi, and she said she didn't mind sharing him. So yeah, he has 3 other girls to date, and Tsunade looks at him like, "You're seriously?" He goes like, "Yeah, I'm serious." And Kiyomi laughs, saying, "Well, it's more fun." And Tsunade goes like, "How?" You said, "You'll see." And then, as you know, when he dig into the village, Tsuyoya thought he was like, just lying. She sees Ino, Tenten, and Sarori as they walk up, and all of them just kiss Naruto on the cheek and saying welcome back to him afterwards. And then Tsunade goes like, "Oh, I see how it is. Naruto is is a lady man, huh?" And Naruto says, "Shut it! I mean, I wasn't like this before. Somehow it became this way." As they said, yeah. And Jiraiya goes like, "Wait a minute. You're dating 4 girls at once? When I was your age, I haven't even dated no one. I still haven't even had a date." And then Naruto just was like, "Wow." And Naruto like looks down and Shane was like, I am defeated. As then like, Tenten and Sayori look at Naruto and look at the girl that has like some rope around her hands and asks, "Who is she?" He goes like, "Oh, Orochimaru's son Ninja 4, named Toyoya." And she says, "Hello." And they ask her, they look at Naruto and he was like, "What?" And then next this is when Kiyomi just starts laughing to herself. He goes like, "Oh crap. Girls, calm down." And like they have the death glare at him. He goes like, "Look, I did not do anything. I swear, intelligence, could like use her for information on Orochimaru. Don't try to kill me. We all know it's gonna be hard to kill me. And they say, "Oh, we're not gonna kill you." And he goes, like, "Whew." As Tenten gets some weapons out, and they give them to basically Sayori and Ino. And then like Sayori activates her Sharingan, and Naruto was like, "Crap." And they all say, "We're just gonna murder you." And Naruto goes like, "Crap, crap, 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 crap," and just runs. He's running so fast. He made a dust cloud. And then they look at Kiyomi, goes like, "Don't worry, he didn't hit on her. He did something else." And then Naruto yells, "You're not helping!" In distance, they all heard that, and they look at Kyoya, and she says, "Nothing happened. He just basically nearly killed me." And they and Tenten, and Sayori goes like, "Good." And so that is where we're gonna end this episode. But just want to let you know, Tsunade and Shizome were just laughing at it. Alright. They were like laughing so much. So that's where we're gonna end this episode. Hope you guys enjoy it. Well, this part 5. Alright. I did say that we're gonna make a fight, but I saw how many minutes it was going, so I think I just wanted to make it around like 50 something. So this one I want to stop. This part, well, next what if, it's gonna come out soon, hopefully. But yeah, all right, bye everyone.